So the question we are asking ourselves today is, how do you grow an industry that's at odds with federal law? CannaBIZ conference right here in New York is promoting exactly that. The expo is being held in Manhattan, where a medical cannabis dispensary has just opened on Fifth Avenue. From there, here's our Claire Sebastian with more.
At first glance, it doesn't look out of place amongst the Fifth Avenue department stores and designer boutiques. That is, until you find out what's inside.
Guess what? We're selling legal weed.
MedMen, one of the largest cannabis companies in the U.S., is trying to normalize weed.
It's a big step to go from something being not available and illicit to something being mainstream and available. I mean, it's a big gap to bridge. But you bridge it with a store like this on a street like this.
The high-tech retail experience is part of that. iPads guide you through a menu of products and formulas, each designed to treat different, in some cases, life-threatening illnesses.
There's only 3 product types: drops, pills, vape pens. But within each product type, you have different ratios, right? And the different ratio of CBD and THC will have different effects.
That's specific to New York state law. In California, where recreational cannabis is legal, MedMen stores look very different. And that's part of the challenge, says Joshua Laterman, CEO of the National Association of Cannabis Businesses, a self-regulatory body for the industry. He's trying to create national standards which currently don't exist.
Cannabis is governed by a patchwork of exclusive state laws which are not doing the job right now.
Currently, all but 4 states in the U.S. have some kind of medical marijuana program, and 9 plus D.C. have legalized recreational use. Federally, though, cannabis is still a Schedule I drug, the same as heroin. And the current administration isn't budging.
It's my view that the use of marijuana is detrimental.
And with Sessions, we have a bit more of an aggressive enforcer than people have expected. And therefore, the institutional money, which was beginning to come to the table to support cannabis, has been chilled.
So how many federal laws are you breaking here?
Well, I tend not to look at it that way. The way I look at it is we are absolutely abiding by every law here in the city of New York, in the state of New York. This is where the medicine is housed.
It's a state of limbo that continues to define this industry, even as the green rush gets its first foothold on Fifth.
And Claire Sebastian joins us live now from the Cannabis World Congress in New York. So, Claire, if the U.S. could eventually figure out the discrepancy between state and federal laws, how important will the marijuana industry be to the U.S. economy as a whole, do you think?
Yeah, Zane, extremely important. One thing that I've certainly learned here today is that it's about much more than just the plant itself. There are dozens of industries that are growing up around this. So look over here, we've got products that are made with CBD. That's the non-psychoactive version of cannabis. We've got gummy bears. There's even over here, these are Rasta treats for pets. But we're also getting, bigger and bigger companies in this space. And I want to bring in Kevin Murphy, who's the CEO of Acreage Holdings, which is a big investment firm and operations firm in this area. You operate in 11, 12 states.
We are in 12 states.
Tell me, you began your career on Wall Street in money management, and you made your first investment in marijuana in 2011?
Correct.
Why? Why did you do that?
Why cannabis? Why then?
Yes.
I had gotten involved in the cannabis space back in 2011. A friend of mine introduced me to the space, and I have to self-admit I was a bit skeptical. But when I learned of the medicinal value of the plants, that's what really drew me in to the opportunity. It was really a combination of that and the operational leverage in the business that had me wanting to make that first investment.
And that was a very early bet. You must have been pretty sure that things were going to start to spiral.
It was very early, and very few people in the United States believed cannabis should be legal at the time. Today, 94% of the country believes that marijuana should be available for medical use, and 64% believes it should be available for adult use.
And speaking of changing minds, you have just recruited the former House Speaker John Boehner to your board, who used to be against legalizing marijuana. You've also got the former governor of Massachusetts, Bill Weld. How important is it to have that kind of political clout in this industry?
Well, it's important to us to have both the governor and the speaker a part of our conversation, purely because they're remarkable men, first and foremost. Speaker Boehner had been a naysayer, and had the courage to change his mind. And when you talk to Speaker Boehner about why he changed, he represented the people of this country for his entire career. And when 94% of the country believes that cannabis should be available for medical use, that was enough to have him rethink his position on cannabis.
I mean, we're still in a situation where it's federally illegal. We've spoken to people here today who, have had real trouble getting a bank account. There's the issue of compliance for companies that aren't as big as yours, with the patchwork of laws across all the states. What are the biggest risks out there? What are the biggest challenges for this industry?
The biggest risk for us is time. We believe that given it's federally illegal, we have a head start on the competition. It's our goal to really grow nationally. Today we have the largest national footprint in this country. But for us, we really want this to be rescheduled or descheduled, more importantly, because it's the veterans of this country that need access. For veterans, it's not a states' rights issue. The VA is a federal issue. And we need to bring safe, predictable medicine to the 23 million veterans in this country.
Kevin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. So, Zane, a lot of opportunities out here, a lot of optimism, but you can't see it, but just over my shoulder over there is a sign of just how many challenges there still are in this industry. An armored car by a security company. There are still people out there who have to use cash, who can't get bank accounts. So we have this limbo, as I said, still a lot of opportunity, a lot of money pouring in, but some major challenges while it remains federally illegal.